Welcome, beloved. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to the first day of the best of your life. I am Mysterious Miraculi. And happy summer solstice to you. Summer represents, or summer solstice, the longest day of the year. So it's the longest resonance of light. This day is about elongated light. And we want to elongate the light that exists within our soul. And in order to receive the greatest harvest that we could possibly receive, we have to clear out the space of the heart. Which is why the subject is, you are innocent. Every being is innately innocent. And yes, there are times when we all run amok and behave horribly. And in spite of that horrible behavior, there is something at the central core of our being that is always innocent. But we have to own this resonance of the innocence that we are. No more renting with option to buy. Own your innocence. And in order to truly own our innocence, we have to be of a forgiving heart. So what are you holding against yourself, beloved? And what are you holding against others? Let us look at the example of our Creator. God is absolute, is unconditionally accepting of us. No matter what it is that we do, no matter how horribly we behave. And I'm not encouraging horrible behavior. I'm just saying that it is time to be in that place of forgiveness of self and forgiveness of every other being. We have two facets of our selfhood. That which is divine, that which is an expression of who we are as an offspring of divinity, as an offspring of God. And that divine resonance of who we are, our divine nature, is co-eternal with God. And all of our dark and negative behavior is of time wherein everything has an expiration date. That reality of our selfhood, which is divine, is eternal. That reality of our selfhood, which comes from negative expression, which is also to come from separation, its days are numbered. One of my favorite affirmations is, if it ain't divine, it ain't mine. And I encourage you to borrow that. No matter what the negativity might happen to be, whether that negativity is something that is coming from another person, or that negativity is coming from your own self. It's not coming from the true reality of who you are, which is divine. If it ain't divine, it ain't mine. See, the ego self that we are can come from a place of separation, feeling our identity as exclusively our own self and not really being in consideration of the all-inclusiveness of who we are, because each and every one of us is our own version of the universe. If you are unforgiving toward yourself, what you see for the drop, you see for the ocean. If you're not forgiving you, then you're not forgiving life as a whole. And I welcome you, all of you beloveds. I see you there, and I love you so much. I thank you for being present with me. I see Anthony, I see Gretchen, I see Susie, I see Mega, and all the other beloveds. Whether I called your name or not, I love you so much. I champion you, and I see that highest resonance of who you are. What you see for the drop, you see for the ocean. If you are unforgiving of your own individual self, then you are unforgiving of life at large. You cannot separate life from life. What is done unto the drop is done unto the ocean. What is done unto the ocean is done unto the drop. And so we want to walk in the resonance of our innocence so that we can receive the supreme harvest. And the supreme harvest is the ascension. And only the innocent can ascend. The guilty must continue to find ways to punish themselves. Only the innocent can ascend. So, since we're working with this resonance of solstice and choosing to receive the supreme harvest that we're worthy of, I want to read a selection from my book, Miraculized Song of Ascension. If you don't have this book, it's a must-have, if I say so myself. This one is I allow, receive, manifest, and live my ascension. Let me share it with you. I allow, receive, manifest, and live my ascension. In ascending, I realize that I have always been ascended. Every time any being ascended, I ascended. The ascension of one is the ascension of all. Each being is the micro container of all life. There is only one ascension experienced by all in a multitude of ways from a multitude of locations in time and space. So when you ascend, beloved, you come into the resonant expression of the all that isness of your being. That resonance of you that is interconnected with every other being. When you come into a state of ascension, you will be in resonance with those three primary qualities of our Creator. Omnipotent. You will be all-powerful, capable of, as the Master Christ did, walking on water, raising the dead, healing the sick. You will be omniscient, all-knowing, having the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. Because you are, I am, we are a biological living library containing the knowledge of everything. See, omniscient. And when you are in the resonance of ascension, you will be omnipresent. Aware of the resonance of you that is evenly present everywhere. Let me read on. I allow, receive, manifest, and live my ascension. I see us all through the eyes of God, realizing that we are already infinitely wonderful and eternally validated. With this awareness, we can now create and achieve and do for the sheer joy of creation, achievement, and doing. Doing, achieving, and creating are not what determines our worth. By virtue of our being, we are of infinite worth. I am, therefore I love me. You are, therefore I love you. All life is, therefore, of infinite value. And so, in order to reap your ascension harvest, it's important to know that you are already infinitely wonderful. Because at the central core of your being is that something that is divine. And that something that is divine at the core of your beingness is beyond your doing, beyond your achieving, and beyond your creating. Some people strive to know, what is my life purpose? What am I meant to express, Well, the root of life purpose is not doing, achieving, or creating. The root of life purpose is being. And I see you sitting inside of your own existence. So I know that you live and move and have your being. And by virtue of that, you are infinitely wonderful. There is nothing that you could do, achieve, or create that would cause the love of God to be one iota different for you. Creator is loving you with an infinite love and validating you with an infinite validation. So you want to infinitely love and infinitely validate yourself by virtue of your being, which is the root of your life purpose. And then your doing, achieving, and creating are the branches. And when you are in that awareness, then you can do, achieve, and create for the sheer joy of it. Because you're then in the awareness that you don't have to do, achieve, or create to make yourself more wonderful. You are that which is from the beginningless beginning, and you are fashioned in the resonance of that which is already infinitely wonderful. To receive your ascension harvest on this summer solstice, this is the way in which you want to see yourself, with the eyes of God. I allow, receive, manifest, and live my ascension. I ascend for planet Earth, and planet Earth ascends for me. I am co-expressor of every good deed and every creation. I feel sacred pride in every wonderful thing ever done. I am, as you are, a cell within every being, and every being in all existence is a living presence within each of us. My soul is the dwelling place of all that is. We all have a hand in every great creation. Each of us is a cell within the Master Christ. We co-walked on water, co-raised the dead, and co-healed the sick with the Master. I am, you are, we are, cellular co-creator of all that is created. God, Goddess Absolute is the life force that creates within us all, in honor of and connection with all life. I allow, receive, manifest, and live my ascension. And let it be, beloved, that you allow, receive, manifest, and live your ascension. Own your soul. Own your love. Own your light. Own your creative mastery. Own your forgiveness and own your self-love, which is not only the love of yourself individually, but the love of yourself all inclusively as the whole universe. It takes the whole universe to make up who you really are. And you individually express the universe as your own version of that infinite something. It's time to use a greater percentage of the mind and brain capacity. The average person's using 5 or 10% of the mind and brain capacity. But we have access to that other 90 or 95%, but in order to tap into it, we have to own our God-goddesshood. We have to own our divinity. See, messing up sometime is part of the human process. So if you're a human being, there's going to be a time that you'll run amok. There's going to be a time that you make mistakes. There's times when I run amok. There's times when I make mistakes. We've all done it, and we'll periodically do it again. But that's not who we are. There is a difference between our behavior and our being. See, behavior can really screw up and really run amok, but the central core of being is uncontaminatable. We have something at the central core of our being that is never, ever, ever touched by this darkness. Think of something that you have held against yourself, or something that you have held against another. And I offer this tone as a carrier wave of healing and forgiveness. Now I want you to own, or I invite you to own the frequency of your heroes and your sheroes. We all have heroes and we all have sheroes. Those men and those women that we look up to, who have blazed the trail and who have went to those places that we look forward to getting to. Every hero that you celebrate is an extension of your own self. So when you look up to your heroes and your sheroes, you want to say, oh my God, look at what a wonderful job I'm doing through those parts of me. You want to feel a personal connection with every wonderful thing that is ever done. Because you are also a cellular counterpart within every hero and every shero. You co-expressed every heroic deed because you are at one with every heroic being. And it's so important to be in the awareness of this truth. You are cellular co-creator of all that is created. You are cellular expressor of every wonderful good deed in life. So in this sacred moment on this summer solstice day, if you haven't been able to tell, I'm riding the bliss wave. And I want you to ride the bliss wave with me. Because there is also a cellular counterpart of your own self that lives, moves, and has its being as a cellular counterpart inside of me. Personalize the joy and the benevolence and the exaltation that you may witness going on in me. My exaltation is your exaltation. My love is your love. My peace is your peace. All love, all peace, all exaltation is our love, peace, and exaltation. So I think I'd like to share a little bit of the didgeridoo now. I want to bring some of this sonic frequency in. This one here is one that I had fashioned so that I could play on my own body. I'm always playing on everybody else's body, and so it's important that I play on my own body. And since you are also a cellular counterpart inside of me, that means I'm playing on your body simultaneously. So here we go. Receive this not only on behalf of your own self, receive this on behalf of life at large. Oh my goddess, it turns me on when I play the didgeridoo. Gives my heart something extra to throb about. Oh my goddess, life is wonderful. So I hope you receive that as a resonance for a quickening of your soul. So I'm going to also invite you, if you have any questions, and you bring them in, I can respond if you have something that you would specifically like me to touch on. And so you can think about that. And I'm going to share another selection from my book, Miraculous Song of Ascension. And this one is from Golden Nuggets of Truth. Walk with me, God Goddess. Walk with me in my conscious awareness of all that we are. Rise in me, God Goddess. Rise as the transcendent radiance of ascension's victory, the timelessness of eternity, and the absoluteness of infinity. Love through me, God Goddess, as the promissory note of life's intention to suckle the breast of eternity. Be the wisdom in me, God Goddess, as the pristine expression of all the knowledge that is, was, or ever will be. Wield the power through me, God Goddess, the power that is a mirror reflecting the face of omnipotence. Be the spirit of peace within me, God Goddess, the peace of the spirit breath riding the DNA spiral all the way from the beginningless beginning to the endless end. Let me just see if I got a question here. Okay, thank you, Sister Ruth White Wolf Bear. I love you so much. Let me just keep reading for a minute. I'm going to keep watching for if there's any questions. All right. It is important that I be omnipresent as well as present. My presence reflects my individual selfhood. My presence is the meeting place for the omnipresence that I am. And that means you too. I embrace the oneness of the wholeness of all. I am the cellular personification of the universe. I feel with the heart of the universe. I, the universe, am infinitely courageous. The universe has unlimited cells of selfhood. I am cellular co-creator of all that is created. My body is a portal for the crystallization of the universe absolute. Every now is an access code to every other now. Every here is a portal to every other here. Now is the commonality of all time. Here is the commonality of all space. Now is the micro-container of eternity. The seed in which eternity sleeps and then blossoms into forever. Here is the birth of infinity in the nursery of space. The journey through enlightenment has many roads. Every being is a passport to God. Every joy portals into every other joy. Every healing empowers every other healing and is empowered by every other healing through the oneness of healing. I call forth the blessings that are, were, or ever will be awakened in my cellular memory. Now let me pause and check something. Somebody asked me, am I coming to California soon? Well, you create something magical, and yes, I'll be over there. I always do come back. That's one of my homes, so I'll always make it back at some point. Oh, okay. MJ Little, can you explain about universal synchronistic flow? That's a great question. Universal synchronistic flow. And what's so powerful about that is that the answer to that question is in the next couple paragraphs. So I'm going to read it and then I will speak more on it. Okay. I am the record keeper of all that is, was, or ever will be within my cells and subconsciousness. I commemorate the past and prememorate the future. Yes, I am commemoration and prememoration, the alchemical ascension into eternal remembrance. I am therefore ascended. I am therefore the microcosmic container of the entire heavenly host. I allow, receive, manifest, and live the infinite healing intended for me and all beings by God Goddess. The present extends from the beginningless beginning to the endless end. The present is present. Nowhere is now here. The ongoing question where melts into the eternal answer here. Where is the question? Here is the answer. The love with which the universe is loved is the self-same love with which I am loved. The love with which the universe loves all is the love with which I love myself. I am, therefore I love me. I exemplify the wisdom that the whole universe knows. God, Goddess, master cell within me. Dream awake, time travel. In time traveling, I jump from cellular memory to cellular memory. Cellular memory is simultaneously compartmentalized into past, present, and future. Though all cellular memory exists simultaneously, it is not all activated at the same time. And that speaks to that particular question that you had. So you've heard, I'm sure, that there's not past, present, and future, but everything is actually happening simultaneously. So, today, yesterday, and tomorrow have the commonality of being expressions of the great now. They exist simultaneously. The difference being today is in a current state of activation. Yesterday was in activation when we were in the relationship with yesterday. Tomorrow will come into activation when we reach tomorrow. And yet, today, tomorrow, and yesterday are simultaneous realities. And we have within us the cellular memory of everything that is, was, or ever will be. We have that capacity to commemorate all of the things of the past and to also prememorate all of the things of the future. Anything that could be known about life is found within the central core of every one of our beings. Let me see what Marisol is saying here. Our bodies live in vibration. Music emits vibration in that way. Music moves us and is able to awaken us and is able to remove blockages, helping us return to our highest self. Like magic. Yes, my beloved sister, that is the truth. So I'm loving you, beloved, and I want you to come into the full magnitude of who you are. So the subject is, you are innocent. I am innocent. We are innocent. We want our prayer to be, Father, Mother God, into your heart I deliver my conscience, so that I will always remember and exemplify your gift of divine innocence. I do this on behalf of all, and the light of eternal forgiveness shines through us. I am, we are eternally innocent. It's time to own the resonance of our innocence. No matter what it is that you have done, that which you have done is not an expression of your being. Your being is greater than your wrongdoing. Our being is greater than our wrongdoing. And part of the divine plan is that it was meant for us to sometimes run amok, sometimes fall and stumble. You see, we are that part of God that came down into this manifest reality. And we knew that in coming into embodiment, that the likelihood was quite strong that we were going to forget who we are. Which is why in our infinite wisdom, there was left, standing in the circle of eternity, this greater expanse of our selfhood that would remember for us in the ascended realms that which we would forget as we came into this humanness and sometimes in the nightmare of the earth dream. Life is beautiful. And life is divine. And you are beautiful. And you are divine. And you are innocent. The Christ is innocent. Now I'm going to say something that may push some people's button. Hitler is innocent, but we're not talking about Hitler's behavior, but the central core of that being. You never know. Hitler may be an ascended master in the realms of heaven at this particular point. Because even though we behave horribly, at some point we wake up and remember. Do you hate on the Hitlers of life? Some of us would have great love for the Christ expression of life, but great hatred toward the Hitler expressions of life, or those that express in darkness. Hate the wave and you hate the ocean. Hate the drop and you hate the ocean. We want to believe in the possibility of redemption for every being, even those who behave the absolute most horribly. I look back at my own life prior to coming into my spiritual awareness, growing up in the treacherous ghettos of Chicago with pimps and hoes and gangsters and thieves and con men and con women. And for 6 treacherous years of my life, from 16 to 22, was a part of that treachery. And yet God took care of me and brought me to this place where I am now, with a heart full of love for the all that is. But I needed to go through that treachery. And I am a better being, not in spite of that treachery, but because of it. And it also helps me to have compassion for those who are still steeped in the treachery of life. You are innocent. Every being at the central core of their reality is innocent. Divine Creator, God, Goddess, and beloved angels, we come before your sacred throne of being, and we open up our hearts and our minds and our arms and our souls to be at resonance with that innocence that you have placed within us. We choose, Divine Creator, to now move forward in the expression of this innocence, as well as to believe in the innocence of every other being. We recognize, Divine Creator, by virtue of your gift of life to us, that we are unfolding down the corridors of forever. And in the course of foreverness, we are definitely going to get it right. And we thank you for giving us the presence of mind and heart to follow the example of the angels who fly because they take themselves so lightly. And so we choose to lighten up. And we thank you for your divine assistance. And we thank you for impregnating us with your divine essence, that we are the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. Oh, divine creator, we love you so much. Trust and forgiveness, the sacred twins. Trust brought you to this earth, to heaven. Forgiveness ascends. The rage of resentment blocks the lessons you must learn, and the darkest of relationships then constantly return. The weapon of distrust breathes the horrors of your pain, and distrustful ones will come to you until you trust again. Forgiveness is the master key, opening the cage to set you free from distrust, misery, pain, and strife, from those you feel have wrecked your life. Who can do a thing to you that you yourself did not create? Will you place blame outside yourself, or was it you who wove your fate? The past you reap, the future you sow, the present collects the debts you owe. If you had not the need, there would be no dirty deed, much wisdom to be gained from the center of your pain. Forgiveness is a must, for it teaches you to trust. Suspicion is a hungry beast that rips away your inner peace. Let go now of past resentment toward fallen love of yesterday. If not, your past repeats itself and steals the joy of this great day. If you don't forgive the past, you can't trust the present, and you then attract a future untrustworthy and unpleasant. Forgiving the past, trusting the present, making the future sweet and pleasant, blessing the darkness, making it right, reversing the tide, and freeing the light. So, beloved, I champion you. I believe in you. I see the innocence in you. I see the innocence in all beings. And I invite you to see that with me. I am Astarius Miraculi, and I love you so much. All of the things that I was reading and the poem that I shared is in my book, Miraculi, Song of Ascension. Please go to my website and get that book. I have a number of CDs there also. If you are blessed by the things that I offer, I appreciate your support by getting some of those creations. They will tremendously help you in the course of your evolvement. The website is astarius.com, astarius.com. That's astarius.com. I'm also a psychic astrologer, and I do sound healings with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I do this work in person if you happen to be in the area of Phoenix, Arizona, where I am, and also by Skype. I do work with people all over the world. I would love to serve and empower you on a personal level. Through WhatsApp or the regular phone, you can also reach me by way of +1 928 254 9535. That's +1 928 254 9535. I also have a donation button on my website. If you want to offer a tithe or some kind of offering, I graciously receive that, and thank you so much. Aho Ashe. Amen. Namaste. Hotep in Lakesh, Alakin, Shalom, Satnam, Hadiom, Rastafari. Our sacred juices are so cooked and infinitely expanding. Juicetafari, Blistafari. We're going to always have many miles on our smile, wiggle in our giggle, tingling in our boots, laughter ever after, putt in our strut, wings on our butt, always rising up, up at the top. There's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all. And so it is, and so it shall eternally be.